This is a personal boost for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He is embroiled in corruption charges. There are protests against him. Israelis are not happy with his response to the Wuhan virus pandemic, and his approval ratings have dropped significantly. This deal gives Netanyahu the political relevance that he's been seeking. He's calling it a historic event. It's a big diplomatic achievement too. He gets to normalize diplomatic relations with the UAE, build Israel's ties with the Arab world, get regional acceptance, at the same time put a temporary halt on the plan of annexing the West Bank. You see, Benjamin Netanyahu wants to have his cake and eat it too. Ties with the Arabs and sovereignty over the West Bank, he wants them both. He has promised the annexation repeatedly during election campaigns. This deal allows him to keep that promise without doing very much about it immediately. It lets him win his voters back by extending an economic and cultural promise instead. According to a recent poll, you see, only 4% of Israelis view the annexation as a priority. Only 4%. 69% want the government to prioritize economy. And this is exactly what the Abraham Accord gives Netanyahu, a shot at transforming Israel's growth. In terms of economy, technology, tourism, culture, he can focus on those things now. For Israel in general and for Netanyahu in particular, the deal is a win-win. What about the Palestinians? What about Iran and other regional players? What does the deal mean for them? Our next report explains.
This is the West Bank, a thin strip of land between Israel and the Jordan River. This piece of land lies at the heart of the Israel-Palestine conflict. The West Bank is home to the Palestinian Arabs, at least 3 million of them. This is seen as the heart of the future Palestinian state. But the West Bank is also home to Israeli Jews. Most of them moved here post the Middle East War of 1967. Today, West Bank is a collage of settlements. Officially, West Bank is not a part of Israel, but Jerusalem wants to annex it. The Abraham Accord puts the annexation plan on hold temporarily. What is temporary? So this peace deal does not have much for the Palestinians. They have accused the United Arab Emirates of abandoning them. A spokesperson for Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said the deal amounts to treason.
The Palestinian leadership announces that it rejects and denounces the surprise trilateral UAE, Israeli and US announcement about a full normalization of relations.
Honestly, Palestine is not even a big factor in this deal. Iran is. It is the shared threat from Tehran that has brought the UAE and Israel together officially. Iran is not only a threat but also a terror in the region, as are its Shia jihadi groups. So Iran's neighbors need to share security and intelligence more than ever. Israel was already growing friendlier with the neighborhood, just that it was under the table. Making the ties official is really hurting the stakeholders. It is a diplomatic win for Donald Trump ahead of his re-election bid. A political validation for Benjamin Netanyahu, and the UAE gets the credit for halting the annexation of the West Bank. What about the region? For Turkey, this deal means a paradise lost. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has been trying to project himself as the champion of the Palestinian cause. He wants to be the leader of the Muslim world, and this deal snatches that dream from him. What about Saudi Arabia? It is highly unlikely that this deal was inked without the nod of the Saudis. Oman and Bahrain have already cultivated friendly ties with Israel. If the United States is to be believed, it is only a matter of time before they too start signing accords with Israel. Bureau Report, WION World is One.